We've got another package from Fantech, and it's another mouse. Very timely too, because since I've gotten it, the Helios 2 Pro S has been my main gaming mouse, and I've been eagerly looking forward to what Fantech does next with their mice. I did have one request for Fantech this time though. I wanted one in white. And here it is. Let's get it unboxed and tested. But before we continue with the video, let's keep the lights on here in the studio. This video was brought to you by Sneak Attack Design Lab. They're a clothing company that specializes in technical fashion, more commonly known as techwear, and you can see me in their clothes in most of my videos. I've been supporting their brand ever since I met them back in 2019, and now they're returning the favor. Head on over to the link in the description to get 10% off of your order from their site. Check their clothes out. You're bound to see something badass over there that'll look great on you. Thank you very much to Sneak Attack for this exclusive promo for my viewers. Now, back to the video. So, this is the Fantech Aria II, a medium-sized mouse that's meant for people who want a simple, high-performing, light mouse that won't break the budget. As we can see here, I have the white one, which marks the first time in my life that I've had a white-colored mouse. You'll see later why I asked for this. But do note that this is not the Aria II Pro version, just the Aria II. This one only does 1 kHz polling, while the Pro version will go up to 8 kHz wired and 4 kHz wireless polling. Immediately here at the front, we can see its highlighted features like the Pixar 3395 sensor, 53 grams of weight, 70 hours of battery life, 3-way connectivity, and ultra-grippy coating. Alright. We have some more features at the back like the Huano transparent blue shell pink dot switches, same with what they use in the Helios 2 Pro S, and of course it's got grip tape included, which is always a nice thing. Upon opening up the box and the box inside the box, we immediately see the mouse in a wax bag and set into a plastic mold to protect it from bumps during shipping. Let's set it aside for now and take a look at the included accessories. Underneath the mold, we have the manual, which we will instinctively ignore. And inside the box are the accessories, which consists of the usual note from our main man Fandy P, the warranty card, additional PTFE feet in both shaped cutouts and dot form, some black grip tape which I would have preferred to be white in keeping with the colorway of the mouse, the USB-A to USB-C braided soft data and charging cable, the USB-C to USB-A dongle adapter, and of course the white 2.4 GHz wireless dongle itself. Do note that this dongle looks way smaller than the one included with the Helios 2 Pro S because like I said before, this is only for 1000 Hz polling, while the other one for the Helios S, the bigger one, does 4000 Hz polling. Alright, that's everything in the box. Let's head on over to the mouse for the product tour. Before moving on to the product tour, I would just like to remind you that if you're liking the video so far, please consider subscribing. Less than 1% of the people watching my videos are subscribed to the channel. Subscribing is free and greatly helps me in continuously creating content for this channel. And of course, is always greatly appreciated. Alright, let's head on over to the product tour. So this is the Fantech Aria II. Oh, that white color really makes it look quite dashing, yeah? And that weight, it feels super light in my gorilla hands. Let's start with that. 54 grams it says here on my scale, close enough to the 53 grams advertised. As we can see here, it's got a symmetrical shape that some people would very much appreciate. Accoutrements are strictly for right-handers though, as there are no thumb buttons on the right side. Here at the top, we can see that there is a distinct lack of DPI switching buttons in the middle, only a scroll wheel with a contrasting black rubber grip and an LED indicator at the very top. Click pads are nice and big and slightly scooped, so you won't have much trouble indexing your fingers. And of course, here's how the mouse sounds. At the ass end of the mouse, we have a simple Fantech logo, screen printed in black. Moving on over to the underside, we can see the PTFE feet, which are smaller than what I expected, and we have 3 controls, a button on the left for Bluetooth connections, a switch in the middle to select whether you'll be using Bluetooth mode, wired mode, or 2.4 GHz mode connections, and a DPI switch button. Alright. And lastly, as we can see here at the front, the USB-C port is not so recessed. There's definitely some space here to attach different aftermarket cables. Alright, that's everything for the mouse. Let's check out its software. Moving on to software, we can see that it's virtually identical to the one used by Fantech with the Helios 2 Pro S. Let's run through it to see what's changed from that version. First page we can see here is the profile page. This is where we can select from 4 profiles, restore, import and export them, customize button assignments, and even adjust the debounce time from 0 milliseconds to 20 milliseconds. There are a total of 6 buttons that we can remap, which are basically all of the buttons on the mouse. Next, we have the performance page. This is where we can select how many DPI stages we have from 1 to a maximum of 4. DPI can be set from the minimum of 50 DPI to a blazing fast and totally impractical 26,000 DPI. For ease of use, I'm going with comfort and set it permanently to 800 DPI. This is also where we can change the report rate or the polling rate of the mouse. There is an option for 125Hz, 250Hz, 500Hz, and 1000Hz. Remember, if you get the Pro version of the Aria 2, you'll also have the option here for 4000Hz wireless and 8000Hz wired. We can also adjust the sensor settings here from its mode to liftoff distance, how long before it goes to sleep mode, and toggles for ripple control, angle snapping, and motion sync. And lastly on this page, we can adjust the DPI light effects, the one at the front of the mouse. Let's set it to off for now since I want to maximize the battery life of this mouse. Next page we have is macros. This is where you can record key and mouse presses and set them to be activated and or repeatable when you assign it to a button on the mouse. This is a fairly standard feature among gaming peripherals, so I won't be covering it in detail here. Last page we have is settings, which just controls the language of the software, the pairing tool, sleep mode, run on system boot, and long distance mode. Alright, now that we've taken a look at the Fantech Aria II and its software, time to see its performance in games. Like my disclaimer last time, I would just like again to mention the fact that while I do play a lot of shooter games and used to work in the esports industry, I am in no way an esports player, nor am I very good at playing games. So please do keep that in mind while you watch me take on these tests for the Aria II. So with Aimlabs Gridshot and 6-Shot Ultimate, you can immediately see me get a good grasp of the performance of the Aria II, but since this is a touch lighter and significantly smaller than my daily driver Helios 2 Pro S, I do get a lot of overshoot, especially in huge mouse movements. A big factor here is my mousing grip and technique, where I rest the base of my palm on the mat and just use my fingers to aim the mouse. There is a level of adjustment here for sure, but it's not as drastic as the one I had to do moving from my Razer Mamba Hyperflux to the Helios 2 Pro S. Next up we have Battlefield 2042, a game that really challenges my recoil control, mainly because of my preference of running as a machine gunner. Heavy weapon, hundreds of bullets, tons of recoil. And controlling recoil is such a breeze with the Aria II, and I know exactly why. Like I said in the previous game, the Aria II is so low, small, and short that I tend to grip it with just my fingertips instead of it wedged underneath the balls of my ring finger and pinky like I do with my other mice, so I can do a lot of fine fingertip movement before I need to move my entire palm to compensate for recoil. The grippy coating helps a lot too. Since I'm not putting a lot of skin on the mouse, I have to rely on good contact with my fingertips for control. Overall, a great experience here on Battlefield 2042. And lastly, I'm doing some runs in the pit in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered. This is a personal favorite for me, and the original one was a great contributor to my gaming life back in college. I've run this thousands of times. So yeah, this is where I was able to check the swipe and twitch shooting comfort of the Aria II, and it didn't disappoint. I was able to reliably post up good scores with perfect accuracy shooting every time. Although I have to mention that around the first 3 runs I had to adjust a bit to the mouse, as doing huge palm motions with it tended to mess with my fingertip grip and my aim center starts to wander a bit. But once I was used to switching between big moments with my palm and micro movements with my fingers, I had no further troubles. People with big hands like mine, you might want to keep that in mind. So, what do we think about the Fantech Aria II? While this might be smaller than comfortable for my larger than normal finger sausages, people with much more sensible sized hands will definitely find the Aria II to be a nice, comfortable, symmetrical mouse for their needs. It's light, it's got fairly customizable software, and it's got the reliable performance to match its looks. While esports hopefuls might want to go for the higher priced but better performing Aria 2 Pro, this standard Aria 2, priced at $48 or 2,500 Philippine pesos, is going to be a good purchase for anyone. And with the holidays coming up, you might want to consider getting this as a stocking stuffer for a loved one who loves the game. And as for me, I specifically asked for a white version of the Aria 2 for the simple reason of having a white mouse for my secondary PC setup that's all white as well. Now, doesn't that look complete? So that's the Fantech Aria 2. Do you have any questions about it? Leave them down in a comment and I'll do my best to answer it. While you're there, give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. It helps out a lot. That's it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!